This is the presentation for the Turtle Safe knife by Atticus Jackson. It's pitched towards Highland Pet Food. My stakeholder is Nick Jackson. He has 20 years experience in pet food manufacturing. He's self-marketed the business and he knows the ins and outs of everything to do with pet food. The context of the design project is that he needs a high-quality steel device. There's potential for it to be a multi-purpose device. It needs to be ergonomic and functional. What does a meat worker do? The job entitles packaging, killing livestock, transporting dead animals, skinning the animals, and marketing the product. The goal of the design project is to develop a functioning prototype, use technology as required, and create a prototype that is functionable in the sense that it explains every part of what the real product will do, and create a product that is functionable in the sense that it can, and create a prototype that will explain what the real product would do. The product should use Dieterham's principles of good design: balance, scale, rhythm, repetition, and harmony. Some relevant questions that I will ask in the interview. Some relevant questions for the interview will be: what does a meat worker require, and how does this fit into their normal life? I recorded the interview down, and here are some key points I took away from it. Needs. The product needs to be safe to handle through a non-slip design, be easy to grip onto, and have a slot for a blade. The wants are for the knife to be sharpened. The wants is that the knife needs to be able to be sharpened with ease, have aesthetic looks, be made of a durable material, have interchangeable blades, and have an innovative aspect to it with potential for more features to be added. This means that more features can be added. This means that more innovative features can be added when necessary. There is an opportunity to make an innovative and safe knife handle that could have real-life implications. For this to happen, ergonomic testing must be undergone to ensure the device can be handled by a large variety of people. The device must be safe, and to do these different types of grips and angles, different types of grips and angles must be experimented with. Aesthetic looks come second to this criterion, but it should have an aesthetic that is recognizable as a knife, but also look good from all angles. The device is going to be ergonomic. The attitudes are that the device is going to be ergonomic. It is also going to be aesthetic to look at. The device is going to have interchangeable blades that can also be easily sharpened through a screw system. An expectation is that the product will be made out of a strong, grippy material such as acrylic covered in rubber. A motivation is that to have a knife that will increase factory efficiency, and the non-negotiables is that the product will be delivered with and the non-negotiable is that the product will be delivered safe and slip-free. Here are some of the initial ideas I had. This one had individual finger slots, which is a bit. This one had individual finger slots and a one-sided. This idea had individual finger slots and a one-sided blade. This idea had finger grips and a one-sided blade. And this idea had the same finger. And this idea had the same finger slips design. This idea had the same finger grips design, but a equal-sided knife. It could be evaluated that idea one had strengths such as minimal. It was evaluated that idea one had strength being a minimal space. It was evaluated that idea one. It was evaluated that idea one had a strength being minimal space being used. Its limitation was that it may not fit all fingers for some people. Strengths is that it fits all fingers well for most people. For idea two, the strength was that it fit all fingers. For idea two, the strength was that it fit all fingers well for most people and is an easy grip. Idea two had strengths being that it fits all fingers well for most people and was easy to grip. Its limitations was that the knife was not double-sided and does not have capability to grip both ways. Idea three had strengths being that Idea three had strengths being that it had a knife that can be used on both sides, but its limitation, like all the other designs, the knife itself isn't long enough. The stakeholder gave me feedback saying, "I like how you prioritize safety in these designs. I can see how there is development in not only safety features but in the shape of the knife itself. I would like to see a combination of idea one and idea two to see how you can come up with more innovation." From the design brief, I found out that the device must be safe for workers but not have features that would allow for the object to slip, and it must have a knife slot, and it must have a slot for the knife to go into. It should be easy to slip your hand. It should be easy to slip your hand into, and also make sharpening the knife possible. It must not have a handle made of a brittle material that could easily break. Here in design iteration 1, you can see that I experimented with some of the initial ideas and made a good grip. However, there was a lot of wasted space in this design and not many innovations. The strengths was that the design keeps the hand well locked in from slipping vertically, adequate finger grip, in terms of safety, the design keeps the hand well locked in from slipping vertically, however, is not thick enough so that the hand can fully grip and therefore could slip horizontally. In terms of ergonomics, the design had adequate finger grip and a good thumb resting position. However, it could be thicker to ensure better grip, and the angle of the finger grips could be higher to ensure a comfier fit. In terms of innovation, the design had a new look on the handle that has little similar In terms of innovation, the design had a new look on the knife handle that has little similar opposition. In terms of innovation, the design had a new look on a knife handle that has little similar competition. However, just because it is innovative doesn't mean it is the best type of innovation. In terms of understandability, the design had finger grips that made it easy to understand where the fingers slot in. However, the user may not know which side to slot fingers into. User may also not know where to put the thumb. In terms of durability, the design is made out of a material that was stronger when put through multiple layers. However, the acrylic nearly snapped under the drill bit. Also, it will likely crack under pressure and heavy usage. In terms of aesthetics, a new visual features that go well in orange. In terms of aesthetics, it had visual features that go well in orange, and standing out is key, and it stands out well. However, it is not equilateral and has a Memphis type of look to it, although it is not aiming to achieve this. One thing I would change is make the finger grip stronger, having slots for fingers that would be better than a bumpy surface as it would be more secure. I will also mitigate wasted space. In design iteration 2, I went with the individual finger slots design. As you can see, it has a flat bottom for scraping waste off the work table, a slot for a blade, a thumb rest for ergonomic grip, and finger slots that are evenly spaced, as well as a sharp end for dynamic movements. One thing I would change is I would add more innovative functions to the holder that would increase productivity. Design iteration 3 was a combination of the good parts from my previous designs. It is safe, it is ergonomic, innovative, understandable, durable, and aesthetic. One thing I would change is that there was nothing I would change, as the design has no flaws to go against it. However, to make the design more realistic, I would use a knife that is bigger than 3 millimeters. Conclusions were made that there were incremental increases through each prototype that created a well thought out ergonomic final iteration. Ergonomic considerations were made in relation to the finger slots, also making it understandable. Innovative solutions were thought of that the client was asking for. This includes a flat bottom for scraping waste off benches. A sharp bottom was also included to be used as a second blade for cutting at different angles. The client really liked the design and how it fits into my hand. He said he would also like to see how it would look on a real steel knife and if it works the same. He suggested maybe a leather cover for grip. For a prototype, he thought it looked very nice. In my design proposal, I've stated that it is an ergonomic design that fits well. Here in my design proposal, I have stated it is an ergonomic design that fits into the hand securely and allows for dynamic movements. It has safe components as the cutout in the middle of the handle fit with a good grip. This is accompanied by a thumb grip at the top, which makes the overall hand slots grip free, therefore reducing the chance of a hand slipping and cutting itself into a common wet meatwork sinning. Therefore, it reduces the chance of a hand slipping, which is very common when skinning animals in a meatworks scenario. Innovative iterations were added to the design, such as a flat bottom for scraping and a sharp end for different types of stabbing movements. It was a durable design, as it is not large enough to be brittle and snap. It is durable design as it is large enough not to be brittle and snap. Therefore, if a steel iteration of the device was made, it would be durable. In terms of aesthetics, it looks friendly but also has a serious knife design to it. Colors of the fluoro green and the orange make a great pattern that makes the knife unique but also stand out. Here you can see the thumb grip, the index finger fits firm, and here you can see the thumb grip, here you can see a combination of the thumb grip, the index finger grip, and the 3 fingers at the back, which overall makes the grip very ergonomic. There's a flat bottom for scraping and a sharp end for dynamic cutting movements. Overall, the design ticked off all the criteria and made for a very useful knife in a meatwork scenario.